This is the Dave and Shecky Show. We got this groovy podcast for ya. Reviewing crazy tunes or quoting Twain and Sting and Dune. We'll bring ideas to share like bonus points for extra flair, cause it's the frickin' Dave and Shecky Show. This is the Dave and Shecky Show. We're bringing you this groovy review. We might preview movies, bake some bread, or drink some smoothies. So come on, have way too much caffeine. You roll up some reefers, I'll reference some Raffy. This is the Dave and Shecky Show.
Hello.
Hey.
I've fallen in the park, and I cannot get up.
I saw that commercial.
No, I really fell in the park. Help me.
What is that the same product or is that a different product? Or are they trying to start something new?
It's the same product.
It is.
It's the same product, but now it's more versatile because you can use it away from home.
Oh, is that what they're trying to get to?
I've fallen in the park, which is not in my house.
Yeah, but wouldn't you, if you fall in the park, wouldn't there be other people in the park there to help you?
Not
Why
if
would you have to
are
call?
Richard Quest.
Richard Quest, he's
You'd
balling.
be in the park at night.
He'd be saying, "I've gag-balled in the park."
I've fallen in the park. I'm naked with a dog leash around my neck. Please save my career.
Right? Apparently, he didn't. You know, he didn't need saving because CNN still employs him.
There's only so many guys who look like Roger Daltrey's cousin who can do the analytics of airplanes.
I guess that's it. Richard Quest. There's so many people on. There's so many people on TV that don't deserve to be. It's almost as if you would think there's a lack of good people just to put on TV. Apparently.
Apparently.
What?
A parent named Lee called in, writes in. A parent named Lee. Oh, Jesus. I lost her.
Well, it's just this whole Jussie Smollett thing. You know, the fact that they were contemplating maybe firing him at first when Roseanne, who had created a show that became a hit that conservatives took to #1 for a second time and 2 decades later, she got fired for a Valerie Jarrett tweet that was spot on. Was spot on and not at all racist. And this guy, Fox, says, well, we were contemplating what we will do.
They wasn't contemplating. They knew they were going to get rid of him. There's no keeping him.
I fucking hope so, bro.
There's no shabootying that one in.
Dude, he's out now, but there was
He's got to go.
The show is shitty, and it's one of those shows you watch because it's terrible.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of Drip Drop. That was a good song.
I didn't like... The only thing I liked about that show was that girl, Cookie. Everything else was a...
Come on, man. You don't like Terrence Howard?
No, I do not.
I loves me some Terrence Howard. The man likes to eat ice cream.
I do not like him.
He likes a sweet treat.
I did not like him in Wayward Pines.
I loved him in Wayward Pines, and that is the reference I am making. He loves a sweet treat in Wayward Pines.
Taraji Henson... P. Hansen, I forget her full name, or I'm not pronouncing it quite properly.
That's P. Diddy.
She was amazing in Empire, and we watched the first season, and it was kind of like we had an MST3K thing going on in our house every time we watched it because it was so absurd. She was great, but it was absurd anyway. I don't even know who this guy was. One of the sons, maybe? I don't know. But for him to fucking think...
Yeah, he's the gay kid. He's the gay son.
Dude, for anybody to have an ego so large that he thinks it's okay to claim that people spotted him and recognized him outside of a subway in Chicago at 2 a.m.
These times.
He is a victim of his own incredible ego.
He is a gay Tupac, baby.
I feel like he's in on something with Kamala, and perhaps that'll come out. That's what I'm hoping.
He is Tupac.
I don't know what you're saying.
Juicy Puck.
Anyway, he's obviously semi-retarded, and he deserves jail time at the very least. And the fact that the mainstream media were falling all over each other just to report the story when anybody with a brain could have said fake, 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 fake when it first happened, like we all did. It just doesn't happen. Nobody is in Chicago at 2 a.m. yelling MAGA country at a C-list person who you would never recognize. It's just absurd. It's angering, actually. It's angering that anybody for a second thought it was true. Anytime you hear anything that absurd, you have to think, okay, it's just not true. And it'll come out. But the fact that the left just takes it, gets spoon-fed this bullshit, and just accepts it as truth is just... It's just a real eye-opener to the big picture. The big picture is they're just throwing the most ridiculous shit out there, and if any of it is sticking, then shame on you.
Yes.
Oh, God. You don't feel that way?
Of course I do.
I just I'm angered that adults act that way, that adults are taken in by it, that adults are feeding it to the masses, that it's happening at all. That somebody has paid friends to write him a letter that didn't work, and so he upped the game by sending them out to buy a rope and bleach. Here's your receipt, you dope. It's just, it's absurd. And you think of the 19-year-olds, the 20-year-olds landing on Normandy, dealing with World War II, trying to fight Nazi Germany and to control the spread of that bullshit. And then you think of what people today are fearful of, and spending their time discussing, and it's just what a difference 60, 70 years makes. It's embarrassing. It's fucking embarrassing, the state of people. Fucking, I used to work for an asshole, and you would always tell me to tell him, grow up, you big baby. It's a fucking world full of big babies. It's embarrassing. It's holy shit embarrassing. Fuck.
Speaking of embarrassing,
Yeah.
the movie we watched, in my opinion,
Yeah.
is embarrassingly bad.
I love singing and dancing. Hiya, folks.
We watched Happy Time Murders, the Happytime Murders. Is it Happytime Murders?
I guess.
For 50 cents, I'll suck your dick.
Well, it's a great price. It almost makes me wish I had a dick for you to suck.
Oh, I'll take that as a yes.
You two are the most decorated officers in this department. What do you see?
Looks like a rubber gone wrong to me.
This wasn't a robbery, this was a hit.
What the?
Someone out there is killing puppets.
Hey, handsome.
You looking for some rotten cotton?
I'm a woman.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's even better.
Got a good time for you.
We're gonna catch the bastards who did these murders. Because bodies are gonna start piling up.
You're one of the best damn cops I've ever seen.
I'll have your badge for this. I'm in the fucking FBI.
Oh yeah, what's that stand for? Fucking big idiot?
Cop, good cop, where is your dignity? Where's your empathy? Where is your sympathy? Bad cop.
If shit gets crazy, I'm gonna go crazy as shit.
It's not just a fantasy.
God, are you all right?
I ruptured my hymen.
This pure ecstasy.
I'm not doing this.
Do it.
Oh, sorry about your dead human friend, Phillips.
That is good shit.
Well, fuck me.
Maybe.
Is Phil in?
He's servicing a client.
Is that what I think it is? Here I go. Here I go. Here I go. Here I go. Here
The Happytime Murders, which was a let me get it back up here so I'm making sure. Yes, The Happytime Murders is a movie starring Melissa McCarthy, who I tend to enjoy. I don't know her politics. I don't want to know them, but I tend to enjoy her. She's a funny gal.
I gotta disagree.
Oh, you don't like her, huh?
No. I thought I liked her maybe over 10 years ago. But now I realize I don't like her.
Oh.
And she's fucking so lowbrow and so distasteful and so it's just like,
it's a movie.
Can't we just have a little more integrity? Can't we grow up a little bit?
Okay, so the Happytime...
Just wait a second. Don't you remember we couldn't even get through Sandra Bullock and her movie when they were cops? We couldn't even get through 15 minutes of it.
Even though we knew Bill Burr was in it.
Well, this one I couldn't get through either, but because there was puppets, I managed to.
Right.
But if it hadn't been for the puppets, I would have bailed on this long before it was over.
All right, so you're angry about Happytime Murders.
She sucks. She sucks.
Okay, so this is what I'm going to say to you. When you don't like a movie, it's not because of an actor or an actress. It's probably the script. It's probably the direction. You know, there's other things. Yeah, but
I don't
that's
need
not
to
her.
see a puppet spraying semen all over a room to the point where it's just so overkill that that was funny when it was Monty Python and they were vomiting into a bucket in the 1980s. But well, come on.
Well, wasn't it Silly String?
Whatever. It was just gross and tasteless.
Okay, well, Dave, this is so Happy Land. I keep forgetting. One of the murders. It's a movie. It's an R-rated movie with puppets, and it's in any other form it would be probably a diagnosis murder type of plot. It's not insanely complicated or complex, but it is pretty raunchy, and it is an R-rated movie that has puppets in it, and it's the fact that it's done by, I guess it's Jim Henson's son or a grandson, I'm not sure.
Yeah, the mighty have fallen.
I gotta be honest, I didn't hate it as much as you did, but I do cringe at that kind of raunchy humor sometimes. It gets me a little embarrassed.
If that's the Muppets now, that's like the grandson took over the father's shop, and now he's running that shit into the ground.
It's not the Muppets. Not one Muppet appeared in that, and I think they were very careful to do that. Not one Muppet. Not one.
Wait, what's a Muppet? What makes you a what? Are they like made men? Where they have a fucking thing they go through?
Actually, yes, the Muppet brand, and then you've got the Sesame Street Muppets. No Muppet that you've ever seen before had appeared in this. So they didn't want anything to... They didn't want to seem like they were in any way endorsing this movie with those other Muppets, those child-friendly Muppets. These were all not child-friendly Muppets. And I understand you didn't like it, and I kind of understand the Melissa McCarthy thing, but I got to tell you, I like her in more stuff than I don't like her. That movie Spies, I thought she was really funny in. Of course, I love her from Gilmore Girls. So
the only thing I like about her is her husband.
I love her husband.
But that only goes so far.
Oh, no, that goes...
He needs to do more than just a Shaun White hoodie.
I think he could just do Shaun White hoodie and denim all fucking goddamn day long, and I would be very happy with him. I love him. I love that they're married, and I love that he was in this movie in a very brief cameo. And
you know what?
Yeah.
Ted was a way better movie.
10.
Ted.
Oh, Ted.
10 was definitely better.
Ted.
10 was, they don't make movies like 10 anymore. But Ted, that was 100 times better.
Right. And I think it's been a long time since I've seen Ted. I never saw Ted 2. But when you do puppets and people, there's some examples out there.
Magic.
Well, that's I guess he's a puppet. Yeah, I guess so.
This is so fucking lowbrow. It's absurd.
See, this is the thing, though. Last night, after we watched the movie, or yesterday morning, whatever it was,
Yeah.
you said, well, that was slightly entertaining.
It was slightly entertaining.
Okay, but to me now, all of a sudden, I think you've Googled the movie
Nope,
and you
didn't
have
do a
let
thing.
other people's opinions come in.
I didn't look it up at all. I don't even know who the main puppet is. I don't know who that is. Who was the voice? I don't know.
Well, that's the thing that was fascinating to me. He is the main Muppet voice. That guy is Dr. Teeth. He is Rolf. He is the Swedish chef. He does a lot of the voices. And I thought that was great. I thought that it was great that they used him and they used other Muppet voice people as opposed to, let's get Donnie Wahlberg in here or somebody famous to do these voices. I like that they used real puppet voice people for all of them. I actually was giddy over it when I looked up to see who played Phil Phillips, and it was this guy Bill Beretta, who is maybe a little older than us but has been with the Muppet family host of people for decades. I was over the moon about that because I there's so many animated or puppet, and it's just always some fucking star, and you wind up spending the whole movie trying to figure out who the fuck's voice that was. So I really liked that. I'm not gonna lie, it was very the humor was very immature, but I kind of dig image. I like to laugh at shit that's dirty or whatever, raunchy occasionally. And
I like Fritz the Cat. I don't like this.
I think Fritz the Cat is something that people like to say they like, but I never enjoyed Fritz the Cat.
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I like the Black Crows.
The song?
No, the racist Black Crows. I like a lot of Fritz the Cat. I like Ralph Bakshi.
I like Ralph Bakshi. I like American Pop. We've talked about American Pop.
Yeah. And I liked the black guy from The Office. He was good.
Oh, the black guy from The Office was in it. He was like the lieutenant. I like Melissa McCarthy still. The Sandra Bullock movie.
Ugh.
We really couldn't after 15 minutes, but it's like I'm not going to blame her.
What was that called? Heat or some shit?
Something Heat.
Ugh.
I'm not blaming her for not liking that movie, though. You understand? She's not the writer.
Didn't help it. That's for damn sure.
She's not the director. She's
no Jack Black.
Jack Black is somebody who is exceptional. I think.
Yeah.
I think he's exceptional in the stuff he does.
And he's raunchy, but not that raunchy.
But there's also this.
He has talent, though. He doesn't need to be that raunchy. You don't got to work blue if you can work Jew.
I know, but you know what the other thing is? And when I was younger, much younger, I wanted to be the next Howard Stern. And what I found out, regardless of if you think it's sexist or not, people don't want that from a girl. They just don't want it. That's why there's a lot of women comedians out there that people just don't like. It rubs them the wrong way. And maybe it's sexist, maybe it's not. I don't particularly give a shit. It just doesn't work as well. So
that's maybe
Jack
true.
Black is, when he is incorrigible and a little dirty, yes, it's lovable. But also, like I said, it's not Melissa McCarthy's fault if you don't like the script, you don't like the jokes, you don't like the story, you don't like the direction. She's literally an actress. Somebody says, say this that way, and she says it that way. So if you don't like it, it maybe is not her.
Well, they got her because she's that kind of person.
I love her. I love her.
She reminds me too much of Rosie O'Donnell.
Rosie O'Donnell is disgusting in every way. And I don't like her. Her adopted children don't like her. So that's, she's a turn off to a lot of people.
This movie just should have starred Maya Rudolph. That's all we needed.
You do love Maya Rudolph, don't you?
What's not to love?
She's just there's something a little weird about her that I just don't embrace.
It's the half black, half Jew. Which part don't you like? Let me guess. I can tell you which part I don't like.
The Jew?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Like I said, I could. I'm not going to.
I don't know that is she half Jewish. I don't know. I don't know that matters to me at all about Maya Rudolph. I don't know. I don't dislike her. I'm never going to say, "Oh, Maya Rudolph's in that." It's a must watch. I don't dislike her. It's like if I saw something with Molly Shannon, I do dislike her. So I would not watch it. I don't feel the same bad feelings about Maya Rudolph.
I would agree with that.
Well, thank you. But she was cute in this as Bubbles, the oh God. Oh, there's a baseball game on? Must be spring training. Anyway, I just
smells like spring training.
I just got a Yankees at Red Sox in 30 minutes live on Fubo TV. So let's wrap this up. No, I'm just kidding. So I feel like you don't like this movie at all. I at one point you turned towards me and gave me such a terrible, filthy look. I was like, "Are you okay?" And you're like, "Yeah." And then you turned back to the movie like somehow I was punishing you or something. I don't know. You didn't enjoy anything about it.
I enjoyed some of it, but
what did you enjoy?
What did I enjoy?
Yeah.
What did I enjoy? That is a hard question to answer.
See, I think this comes down to you and I watching things a little differently, kind of like you listen to music differently. When I am not loving a movie, like say it was, Blade Runner. Oh. If it wasn't Blade Runner, and then I start watching for other things. Like I start watching for the voice acting or the outfits or just other things. If it's not coming together as a complete picture for me, I just start noticing other things, and that usually gets me through something. I start to fixate on little things, and that's enjoyable to me. So I enjoyed this movie more than you did, but like I said, probably for reasons that you would never enjoy a movie for.
That's true. Well, that's a whole other thing.
No, but that's why
I do with music.
Yeah. We'll listen to something, and I just always go back to that. Was it Blue Note? Mm-hmm. The Jazz is Dead show?
Bottom line.
I honestly, we sat there. It was a Jazz is Dead with all these famous musicians playing Grateful Dead music, but in a jazz style. Is that what it was?
I guess.
And I could not figure out which songs they were playing. And I'm someone who has seen the Dead over 20 times. I'm someone who loves Grateful Dead. I have, tons of CDs, live shows. I could not pick out what songs these were. I couldn't hear it as music. It was really frustrating. It was infuriating, actually. I just couldn't hear it. And here I was alone, this frustrated person at the bottom line, and everybody else is, just enjoying the shit out of themselves. So that's kind of like me and Dave. Dave would have to lean over at the table and say, "This is that song." And I'd be like, "What?" Just couldn't hear it. So we watch and enjoy things differently. And I think sometimes the music I enjoy infuriates Dave to no end. But, I'm liking it because it's giving me a feeling, not because, the drums are exceptional or whatever. So, you on a scale from 1 to 10, let's just say what it is. This is like a puppet noir, I would say, right? Phil Phillips, down on his luck, PI, had been run out of the police station because a few years back he had refused to shoot a puppet, and they thought
it's such a weak story. The whole thing is weak.
Well, I think
they would have been better off just taking a Columbo script and reenacting it with half puppets. That would be better.
This is what it felt like to me. It felt like that's what it was. Like if it wasn't a movie with puppets, it would just be a TV episode of some gumshoe detective type show.
That's exactly right. It wasn't good enough.
No, but
Mike Hammer is way better with Stacy Keach.
Right, but Stacy Keach doesn't work with puppets.
Well, then let's not work with puppets, you fucking morons. If you need to spray fucking whipped cream all over the studio, maybe we don't have anything here.
Yeah, there was a weird... See, this is to me, watching it was very cringy, but the fact that somebody came up with this idea to me was kind of hysterical. Okay, you're going to have to stop telling me about the Yankee game. At some point, there was like cow porn.
We've lost our moral compass. What is that movie? Was it Deadpool where they stuck the electrical cord up the villain's ass and shocked him?
That was the second Deadpool.
This is unacceptable. This is not supposed to become standard practice.
Yeah.
Control yourself, you fucking lunatics.
I guess that's right. I guess what's happened is this
society is disappearing.
Right. Things that shocked you and were titillating and made you giggle because it was the kind of giggle that you saved for things that were inappropriate. Those things of our youth are not around.
This is desensitizing everyone to everything. And before you know it, anal sex with rabbits in the church will be accepted.
I hope that's not in our lifetime.
Well, just keep your eyes open. It's happening.
I don't want to keep my eyes open to that.
Look at this fucking retard. They just found out who overdosed in a Days Inn, the reporter in Los Angeles.
Oh my God, did you read that?
Turns out he one rock of methamphetamine in his rectum wasn't enough.
Wasn't enough.
What are you doing? What are you putting speed in your ass for?
I don't know what happens
What
with
are
people.
you fucking what's her name? What are you, Stevie Nicks?
Wait.
Get out of here.
Wait, what?
Stevie Nicks destroyed her septum so much from cocaine that she had to have her assistant apply it to her anus with a straw. She'd open up her ass and put the coke in a straw and say, blow it in. And he would blow the cocaine into her open anus.
Stop it.
This was the only way she could receive coke.
Where did you hear this?
This is a well-known fact. And this is no Rod Stewart with semen in the stomach bullshit.
We need to save this for our conspiracies, deep dark secrets.
All you deviants need to get a grip and stop fucking having puppets jerking off and thinking that's acceptable.
Right. Well, the puppets.
You guys need to listen to Owen Benjamin. Oh God, I said his name.
Yeah, there goes our. I tell you, I mentioned Owen Benjamin in our show notes, and holy shit, just tanked.
I'm a godless Jew like the rest of us, but let's control ourselves, you maniacs.
So let's just let's go back to this LA reporter. What the fuck is why would you put?
Because you're retarded.
No, but what? No, I'm asking you seriously. Why would somebody put something like that in their ass, their rectum? What was it, a rock of
Who knows?
meth
Either it gets them high or it dilates their anus so they can have some weirdo and fuck them.
Dilates their anus.
Dilates the anus.
So,
like poppers. Oh yeah, he also had the poppers. He had the amyl nitrate in a mask. He puts a mask on that you're supposed to keep noxious fumes out from. He fills the mask with noxious fumes and then puts meth in his ass. And the popper, what is it? The amyl nitrate is a muscle relaxant, basically. It'll relax your anal muscles for better anal gay sex. That's since the 70s. That's what poppers are. That's been known since the 70s. So he was doing that, but not just that. He was doing it to such an extreme that he probably suffocated. He's probably stopped his heart from the amyl nitrate being in a mask. He basically killed himself. Like someone comes up to you and puts a fucking cloth of chlorophyll over your mouth.
for him.
He did it on purpose.
Yeah, it says that the guy noticed he was gurgling in his mask and flipped him over and pretty much knew he was dying or near death or dead.
These people are retarded.
That's fucking insane. That's insane.
This is the product of the just say no a generation.
You think so?
Yeah, just say no to like regular drugs so that we can secretly do this shit. Say no to pot so that, we grow up being meth heads. You guys are psychotic.
It's a little crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. Control yourselves.
I mean, and this guy has a wife and a daughter. So what a way to go for the... Honestly, if I was the wife, I would move. I would change my last name. And I would bring that little girl up and just say that...
It's not her fault.
No, but you don't want that... I mean, that's going to affect the way that kid grows up.
Anyone who goes to a Days Inn in the daytime, you're up to no good. That's not happening.
No, maybe truck drivers or something.
No. Don't do it.
All right.
Not in the LA area. Have you seen those hotels?
You shouldn't be anywhere in the LA
my God.
area.
Have you? I used to drive past a Motel 6 in San Bernardino. That is a sight to behold.
Dude, we stayed at a Days Inn not a Days Inn, a Residence Inn. What was it?
A Residence Inn. That's it was Residence Inn. I think that was in
Ontario.
Ontario, exactly, right near Fontana over there.
We stayed at a Residence Inn in Ontario, and it was one of the worst experiences ever. They had garbage overflowing.
It reminded me when I had to do community service in Riverside Park.
It was disgusting.
Fucking ribs and birthday cake.
Riverside, New York.
Riverside Park in Manhattan.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is these Spanish people don't know how to clean up after themselves.
I was disgusted because I had, for work, stayed at a Residence Inn in Burbank.
Burbank, well, that's white people neighborhood.
I was I was there at least for a week, once a month for a few years.
Oh, wait, are we talking about the homeless woman there? Remember the homeless woman I had to chase away? Some psychotic, crazy woman?
There was this homeless woman. That's right. I forgot about the woman in Burbank. Oh, my God. So there was a homeless woman who would... she looked somewhat presentable, and she had one of those rolling suitcases. And so she looked somewhat presentable, so she would convince, like, as you would start going towards the door to open it with your key card just to get into the hotel the back way... she would just start rolling up and pretend that she couldn't find her key card. And since most people are just traveling through, they don't experience her over and over again.
She didn't look like your average homeless person.
She didn't look like an average homeless person, but because I stayed there on the reg so often...
She might have had a job. Who knows what the fuck
she
was
did not.
doing.
I spotted her, but... I was there. This lady who was also there, she was a tour bus driver. And at one point, we were at the Burbank Residence Inn. And also, they allowed dogs. So you could come and visit me with our doggy. And so anyway, we were at the Residence Inn, and our rooms were across the courtyard from each other. So I had my door open, she had her door open, and her little dog, Lola, would run back and forth. And we'd meet in the middle sometimes and just bullshit. Play Angry Birds or whatever. And at some point, the homeless woman got into the courtyard area and she started walking through the open door, Valerie's open door. And Valerie's like, "Can I help you? Can I help you?" And the woman, you know what the woman says to Valerie?
What?
"You're so pretty." Like, that's the first thing she says to her to try and distract her from the fact that she's just helping herself into her room. So anyway, this homeless woman is in and out of the hotel. At some point, Dave is down there visiting us, and we're walking our dog at the time late at night, and who was a toughie at the very least. And as we start to go back in, it's probably like 1 a.m. Here comes that homeless woman, and Dave had already known about her, and he was not going to be pleasant at all. And he was, what did you say? Basically, "Get the fuck away from me" or something.
She wanted me to
Stupid
keep
bitch.
the door open for her, and I was like, no.
Yeah, and our dog wanted to kill her. And so then she pulls out like this phone that, of course, is not charged and hasn't been paid for, and she pretends she's calling the police on us.
I was basically like, get the fuck out of here. My dog's going to kill you.
Yeah. And other times so in that Residence Inn, there's kind of like a stairway to nowhere closest to the highway, I-5. And you can just keep going up until you can't go up anymore. And there's like a landing, and you can either go through, I guess it's to the roof, or you have to come back downstairs. But there's a landing that's basically the size of a double bed, and she was living up there. And so when you would start walking up from the 4th to the 5th floor, you would start to get the smell, that homeless smell. And it would be like, oh, God, she's up there. And so we spotted her, me and Valerie and another girl spotted her one time and went running down to the desk and said, that crazy homeless person is here again. So you know what? You're right. That Residence Inn was fairly clean, and I had a fairly decent time when I stayed there. But that homeless woman was a real problem.
Yeah, it's called California Sucks Ass.
Yeah. And they weren't dealing with her, and she was clearly crazy. At one point, she chased me and Valerie and this other girl. We totally were running from her. Like, she was chasing us through the halls of the Burbank Residence Inn. Holy shit, I forgot all about it. And I was like, it was like Scooby-Doo. Like, we were running from the bad guy. And we ran right to the lobby and we're like, that crazy homeless woman has got to go.
Bad person.
Yeah. And then at that point, you were like, you know what? You're not staying there ever again. And I couldn't tell my employer exactly why I didn't want to stay there ever again. Because then it would just have caused a big row. But I did never stay in there again. I stayed at the Langham in Pasadena, which was beautiful, but just everything is expensive. And then we also got some VRBOs or something. And then we just moved down to the area at some point. But holy shit, yeah. So I guess, yeah, residents in down there are not good at all. Don't stay overnight at a hotel in the LA area, I guess is what we're trying to say here. Right?
I'm not sure, maybe.
Well, we were talking about the reporter.
Yeah, there, you'd have to stay in an expensive one.
Yeah. Like, if you're not in Beverly Hills at, like, a Hilton or a Four Seasons, then you're going to have a bad time. Speaking of bad times, so what are you going to give this movie? This Happyland, Happy Time? I can't quite remember.
I would give it a 6.
You would give the Happytime Murders a 6.
Yeah.
Out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I will tell you that on IMDb. Hold on, please. The Happytime Murders on IMDb gets a 5.3 out of 10. So that's pretty close to what you said, right?
Yeah.
On Rotten Tomatoes, the average critic gives it a 23%.
23 out of 100?
Yeah.
Fuck critics. Critics don't matter anymore.
And the audience score... See, this is the other thing about Rotten Tomatoes. They'll tell you the percentage of people that liked it, and then they'll give you the rating, and it never matches up. So the tomato meter for critics is 23%, though the average rating is 3.8 out of 10, which for me is 38%.
So everyone hates this movie, basically.
Most everybody. And then there's an audience score that says 40% of the audience liked it, but it gets 2.8 out of 5, which is really 56%. So
I'm being generous with a 6.
You are, but there are some. I looked to find some reviews from critics that kind of felt the same way I did.
The movie sucked, but it's not a piece of shit Hollywood shithole movie like, Thanos. At least it's like a real, at least they're trying to make a movie.
I feel like this person sums it up pretty well. Scott Marks from the San Diego Reader says, "The connoisseur of filth within me is pleased to report how wonderfully nasty much of the fetid proceedings here are to behold." So it's kind of like, to me, it's silly. It's a silly, dirty thing with puppets, and to judge it as something more than that.
It's too dirty for kids. It's not intelligent enough for adults. So what do you do with it?
It's like
It's a shit fest.
I feel like it's like a...
It's not worthy of an adult, and it's too much for kids.
It's
It
definitely
really
not
is.
for kids.
It's like a bad fucking product.
Alan Adams from The Main Edge says, Happytime Murders is a weird, goofy, dirty as heck comedy. It is unabashedly silly and unapologetically foul. It is broad and base and is content to aim low. And if you've got a certain sort of sense of humor, it's a whole lot of fun. So I feel like that's fair. I think you have to have a certain sense of humor to enjoy it.
That's a fucking vague statement.
I liked it more than you. I didn't love it. It's not my favorite movie
What
of
do
the
you
year.
give it out of 10?
Out of 10, I'm going to give it... I'll probably give it a 6.
Well, you seem to like it more than me, so maybe I didn't give it a 6. Maybe I'm giving it a 5.
I feel like the next day for you is... I don't know. You said slightly entertaining. So it made me think that you
The
didn't
first
love it,
20
but
minutes
liked
I
it.
couldn't stand. And then
The
I started
setup?
to like it a little bit more.
You didn't like the setup?
I don't know. It just seems so fucking not... I don't know.
The silly string stuff?
It just whatever. It just didn't really... It wasn't... It's...
I'm not sure what you're saying.
It wasn't sharp enough.
Sharp enough. All right. Well, that's fine.
Idiocracy's a lot better.
Well, Idiocracy doesn't have puppets, and it's written.
I don't
by
see why
Mike
you can't make a
Judd.
good movie with puppets. You could do,
Team America.
You could do Death of a Salesman with puppets if you want to.
Team America was good.
Yeah, you know what else was good?
What?
Fucking what's it called? Being John Malkovich.
The other thing is this.
Was that what it's called?
Yes.
Now that was good puppetry.
The other thing that struck me was that this was it seemed like it was a Chinese movie. There was a Chinese H Brothers logo at the very beginning, so it was just like weird that it was funded by the Chinese, maybe. But it was not a movie that could be played in China at all. And as a result, this movie's budget was $40 million.
China.
And it made $20 million.
Really?
Yeah. So,
that's a shit fest.
Yeah. It's kind of a shit fest. It's kind of, I like the premise. I like some of the jokes. I like the voice acting from the puppets. I thought that was particularly good. I really did, because it wasn't, like I said, famous celebrities being voiceover people. It was real voiceover people, and to me, that made a big difference. I don't know. Again, I just listen to weird shit, I guess. I don't know.
I think the TV show Dinosaurs is better than this.
No.
I do.
I don't agree with that, but that's fine. All right. Well, so you didn't like this movie. I didn't love it, but I don't have the disdain in my heart you do.
I'm giving Melissa McCarthy one more shot, and if I see something else that's as bad as this, that's 3 strikes for her. That's all I got to say.
All right. Well, I'm going to make sure she knows about that. Hopefully, she will pick her next project well then.
She better.
Uh-huh. All right. This is the other thing. I don't even know if this is working. We'll have to see. Got a new OS download on my AirBook. GarageBand looks totally different. It was a pain in the ass to install. So I don't even know if this is working.
Piece of goddamn crap Apple products.
I'm not a big fan of Apple anymore. I would never buy another Apple. Speaking of just devices in general, somebody on my Twitter feed did a did an experiment, I guess 5 days ago, where they just set their phone down and talked about Friskies, the cat food. They don't have a cat. They have no need to have Friskies in their life, but they wanted to do this experiment where they sat in front of their phone and said the word Friskies over and over again, and then also said, I don't have a cat, I don't need Friskies, but Friskies, 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 basically. And sure enough, in his timeline on Instagram and I think Facebook, Friskies ads started popping up. So I was reading answers to his tweet, and other people have had very similar things happen where there was two people who did not know each other, seemingly. Both had conversations regarding mattresses. And then all of a sudden, mattress ads started showing up on their social media timelines and their feeds. So if you have a Google phone, go into your settings, into your Google settings, into your search and voice settings, and turn all of that shit off because it's listening. Even if you don't use the Google Assistant, it's listening. It is listening, and it is going through your conversations, and it is picking out words that it's selling to people like Friskies or mattress people, and the words it's not selling, it's probably delivering to someone else. So, really creepy shit.
So that explains the Ku Klux Klan outfits I've been seeing in my advertising offers.
No, that does not. I think you're just Googling those directly.
Oh.
But stop that.
Oh, maybe I should stop that.
Yeah. Unless you want to run for governor in Virginia, then I feel like that's probably a fine way to go about it. All right, so apparently there's a Yankee game on. We're gonna be into baseball this year, or are you gonna be into the Mets? And
I'm into fodder. Boom.
You're into who?
Intifada.
What's fodder?
I don't know. Isn't that some sort of terrorist group? The Intifada.
Antifa. How does Trump say it?
Intifada.
Antifa.
Antifa.
Are you gonna be into the Yankees or the Mets this year?
So the Mets. I can't get into the Mets.
DeGrom did win Cy Young.
Well,
that poor guy.
I don't know. I got to think about my whole baseball opinions.
Why do you think that? What's happening there?
I don't know. It's hard to support a bunch of faggots.
What? Who's a faggot?
I don't know. The whole league. They're changing stuff now. The National League's going to have a DH.
Is that true?
Only DH I want in the National League is a Dick Harder.
What?
Dick Harder. He's a great player.
Is he?
I don't know. You told me.
Does he have meth in his asshole?
Dick Harder.
Okay.
Let me tell you something.
Is that a real person, or are you just being a jerk?
I'm making it up. That National League does not need a DH.
Then it's right. Then it's all one league.
Then
there's
not
no
happening.
difference.
This is like New World Order in baseball over here.
Is that happening this year?
I don't know. I hear things.
Who did you hear that from?
I don't know.
Eddie Trunk?
Some shifty-eyed guy in an alley.
Dave's been listening to Eddie Trunk way too much lately.
Hey, I can relate to this man. He has a passion. He really cares. About what? I have no idea.
You know what? I have been an anti-Eddie Trunk person since the 80s.
Bon Jovi fan from day one.
Oh, God. Is he the one who said that?
Yeah.
What a turd burglar.
Who's a Bon Jovi fan from day one except Bon Jovi?
Yeah. Eddie Trunk, I used to work at the radio station directly behind the radio station Eddie Trunk worked at. And his station was the better station for sure. And it was what everybody wanted to do. And he was so awful, but he had somehow managed to get his own heavy metal show. And when in New Jersey in the 80s, if you wanted to listen to heavy metal, WDHA was not your go-to heavy metal. You were listening to the Seton Hall radio station, who played metal, all kinds of metal, all the time. It was amazing. But yet Eddie Trunks managed to get his own heavy metal type show on DHA. I don't know, probably because they were commercial and so they could take money, as opposed to Seton Hall, which probably did take money, but not in large numbers. But he would have people like Ace Frehley would be, and I'd go to the fucking parking lot of DHA because I wanted my Ace Frehley autograph. But fuck, I've hated Eddie Trunks because he's just a doofus. But occasionally he's right about shit. Unfortunately for me, and I'm forced to admit it.
Val, what kind of last name is Trunk? That's not real. And why would you choose Trunk? Who would make up a last name of Trunk?
I don't know. It's always been Eddie
is an
Trunk.
Oblivious moron.
He is, and yet you listen to him. Is it just to infuriate me?
I think I like his tone. He's got that tone. I like his tone. He's like a tenor.
Oh, I see. I don't understand that.
Like Ron Bennington. They're tenors.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I used to love Ron Bennington. All right. So that's it for this week. Happy
Scotty
Land.
Kilmer. I still started liking him. He's a tenor.
What's his last name?
Scotty Kilmer.
Kilmer?
Kilmer.
Kilmer?
That's it.
Scotty Kilmer is Dave's new YouTube obsession. He is, I have to say, fantastic. He is a guy who's an auto mechanic or has been an auto mechanic for 50 plus years, and he is a straight shooter. He talks a lot about cars, good cars to buy, bad cars to buy. He's amazing. Scotty Kilmer. I'm not very interested in cars, but whenever Dave puts on one of his YouTubes, I'm there. I'm all about Scotty Kilmer too.
I like him.
I'm contemplating moving to Houston just so I can be close to Scotty Kilmer.
Too humid.
What?
Too humid over there.
It is pretty humid. But yeah, and just if you don't want to listen to Scotty Kilmer, I will tell you he loves Toyotas. He thinks they are the best built cars. But not Toyota sports cars. He says Toyota doesn't do good sports cars. He doesn't know why they try.
Well, he is a man who is practical.
Yes.
He is not a product of the new millennium.
No. And he says words like retarded, which I love. All right.
I love musical retards.
Okay.
That's my new bumper sticker.
All right.
Is that bad?
Is it pronounced retard at that point, though?
I don't know, but don't you get it? It's a double retardra. Retardra.
I got it, but that's why I think it's pronounced differently. I think
love
it's
musical
retard.
retards.
All right.
And then I show a picture of the ones who were featured on Opie and Anthony who do that "Better Watch Out for the Insects" song.
Oh, that's
the musical retards.
Oh, okay, Dave.
Either that or the ones who sing "I'm Having the Time of My Life."
Oh, come on!
The retarded duet. That's good.
But they're sweet.
Well, I'm saying I love musical retards.
All right, you keep saying that.
It's not bad if you love them.
I know, but see, this is the thing.
I didn't film them.
You're trying to be shocking, yet you are angry about the Puppet movie for doing the same thing, and you're saying the same thing.
If we're saying musical retards is fine. It's another thing to say musical retards and then find one and stuff them full of pudding and have sex with them.
Okay, no one did that. There was no special needs people being filled with pudding.
Call me when that happens. I got a special hotline for you. It's 1-800-GARY-GLITTER.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Speaking of Gary Glitter, I got to interrupt.
Okay.
R. Kelly's is in custody as we speak.
Oh,
so
where?
That's always good.
Which country?
This country called America.
Oh, good. Finally.
I think he has his shots.
I can't believe he came back.
Where was he?
I don't know. He goes out of the country.
Was that him or the two hired MAGA supporters who were in Nigeria? Maybe they have their shots.
That guy.
They came to America with Rob.
Let me tell you something. People,
Ola. The guy's real name was like Ola Bungo or something.
I'm telling you right now, if the news tries very hard to sell something to you to the point where the news people are getting teary-eyed or they're taking off their glasses and they're looking really grim, they're selling.
The two Nigerian brothers, Uga and Booga.
It's not true. None of it is
Ooga Booga
true.
brothers.
It's just absurd. God, it's fucking embarrassing. It's embarrassing. What news?
Wake up,
become?
Alyssa Milano.
Oh God, she's so stupid. She is dumb.
That bitch is charmed.
She is not charmed. She's not even semi-charmed anymore. All right, so we're babbling on.
Them titties ain't retarded.
Okay. Happy time? Happy land? Happy time? Happy
Yes,
time.
Happy time. You need a better name for that fucking movie.
The Happytime Murders, not a great movie. According to Dave, not even an okay movie, but certainly something that if you like foul humor and get a giggle from puppets and like to see Melissa McCarthy's husband of denim, Shaun White hoodies and denim fame.
They had something they could have gone with.
Yeah.
The blue puppet thing. They could have gone with that as a racial thing and just made it blue.
They
and
did,
black.
though.
Yeah, but they didn't. They went for it for half a second. They should have made the whole movie like that.
No.
And then had one puppet who was dressed up as not a blue puppet and kind of like a black like me, but it's a blue like me kind of thing.
That's a whole different thing.
Yeah, and that would have been a good movie. Instead, they got to spray fucking whipped cream over a fucking door. Wonderful.
I think it was Silly String.
Talk about blowing opportunities.
I
No
don't know.
Pun intended.
I thought it was. I did not dislike it as much as you did, but.
I'm making my own movie. It's called I'm Not Making a Movie.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm looking forward to not seeing that. All right. Well, everybody, it's been a pleasure. This has been episode number. I don't think we said what the show was. Episode number 41 of.
I don't even think we said who we are.
The super terrific, what is it? Dave and Shecky's super terrific middle-aged cool kids. No, the middle-aged cool kids super terrific podcast featuring your pals
Zen Horizon and Low Tamboo.
Okay, I am.
It's a win-win on that one.
Okay, what is? I don't.
Zen Horizon is the leader, and Low Tamboo is his servant helper, a loyal servant helper. Low Tamboo.
Well, I'm not.
Actually, is from Minnesota, but goes by the name of Low Tamboo.
All right. Well,
Zen Horizon's kind of like a David Koresh character, but better looking.
I see. Is this from a movie or something?
It's a movie I'm making up right now.
Oh, I see. Is there no Low Tamboo and Zen Horizon people in the real world?
I don't know about them. I'm making them up. I'll tell you one thing. I have used the pseudonym Zen Horizon in the past. For one time, I created a classmates.com account under the name Zen Horizon. So
it's probably still there.
All the kids in my class are wondering, who is this guy? I don't remember Zen Horizon.
Internet is forever. So
he's a hippie kid. Zen Horizon.
All right. Well, there you go. You can look forward to finding his classmates.com.
It was also going to be this reggae band that I never started.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, thanks so much for listening. And we will see you next time. Mostly America and sometimes China.
Low Tamboo.